listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries, as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. I like the idea of celebrations. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. And today, we are celebrating a couple of great ones. National Coast Guard Day. Yes, we appreciate all the work the men and women of the Coast Guard do. We can applaud every one of them. We appreciate you. We appreciate your service. And having beaten around anorexia, I will always look to see. Yes, today is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Yes, indeed. I'm ready for them. Where are we getting the best cookies? I'm always up for that. Hey, let's take a look at the markets right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average. That is up as I speak to you this morning, as we're recording this morning, up 101 points. S&P 500, 339. It's up 3.39. NASDAQ, it always goes up, but today it's down a little bit, 19 or 21. It just popped as I am speaking to you. Oil, it is up 63 cents a barrel. We watch that one on a regular basis just to see where the oil market is taking us. What are we looking at? What is it doing for gas prices, both here in Calizuela and on a national level? National price of a gallon of gasoline, $2.17.9. We're $1.01 higher in Calizuela, 318.3. So, well, about a buck higher, buck and a half, dollar and a half a cent, 1.005 roughly. Hawaii, they're pretty close to the same as Calizuela. If you want the cheapest gas in the land, you've got to go to Mississippi. $1.82.9 compared to that to our $3.18. Ow! It just drives me crazy. But you know something? It's amazing that the blue political states are the best gas. Blue political states are the highest gas price states in the country. Yeah, Calizuela, Pennsylvania. We'll look over there. New York, New Jersey. New York is 225.9, so they're pretty much on par. But Calizuela kind of sets everything apart because we're at 318.3. Nevada is also one of the higher price states. They're 50 cents a gallon cheaper. Oregon, one of the higher price states, 265 versus our 318. Washington, 280 versus our 318. Getting a picture here? Even Alaska, 252 versus 318. And to be the higher priced states, you have to be in that same range. You're looking at anywhere from 324, Hawaii. Then you've got Calizuela at 318. Then it goes down to 241. That puts you in the top 20% of gas prices in the land. Unbelievable. You know, it's just that we like to continue on with our taxes. And then you get people that are out there, and I've got some that I talk to or hear from on a regular basis, They look at it and they can't understand why Calizuela has the issues going on that Calizuela has right now. Pretty simple. You want to defund the police. You've got mayors like Garcetti who have no backbone, right? And you wonder, why is it that the things are the way they are? Why is Los Angeles boarded up the way it's boarded up? Why are the kids not going back to school? Well, it's simple to understand. You've got people that are motivated by something other than what's in the best interest of the people. And I'm just going to go for it, and I tell you that straight out. There's other motivations. When we heard 10 or 12 or 15 years ago, actually it was about 10 years ago, during the Obama administration, that Dr. Fauci said that hydroxychloroquine was good for viruses, yet today you can't use it for a virus. Or so they tell you. We hear all kinds of doctors who have been using it for patients. The hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin, they use it together for the virus. Does it work for everybody? I would say no, because there's no drug that works for everybody. Right? I mean, it doesn't matter what you're taking. Some people take Motrin, some people take Tylenol, some people take Excedrin. Now, are they all doing the same thing? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I know no drug works the same for everybody. I have at times I take Tylenol with codeine. Vicodin makes me nuts. Well, some people say I'm nuts anyway. But here's the issue, is if it works for some people, why say that nobody can take it unless there's other motivation? And I'll tell you exactly my opinion of what the other motivation is. Pfizer, you're getting billions of dollars from the federal government. Moderna, you're getting billions of dollars from the federal government. Gilead, you're getting billions of dollars from the federal government, or hundreds of millions of dollars from the federal government. Do you think they want a generic drug to solve the problem? No. They make too much money on these other issues, and we don't have any of the political leaders willing to stand up and say, you know something, I want to try that to see if it works. All they want to do, and the media, they're in cahoots with some of these liberal political people. I would almost guarantee, again, my opinion, if this pandemic came down during the Obama administration, President Obama would have said, use a hydroxychloroquine. The media would have been all over it saying, great. But no, because President Trump said to use it, it can't be good. There's nothing that the man can do that's good. So we're going to go and we're going to say we're going to put our own kids at risk. But with this, I mean, you got to really wonder about people that say, you know something, I'd rather not educate my children than take the, you know, you're at risk no matter when you walk out of your house. You might even be at risk in your house. In my neighborhood the other day, there was a house fire. So even in your house, you're not completely safe. Right? But here's the issue is there is risk in life. You want to mitigate that risk as much as possible, but there is always going to be some sort of risk, and you've got to look at what are the benefits out. Do the benefits outweigh the risk? Just throw that out there for you and look at what's going on. How much of our freedom has been taken away in the last 4 months? I saw recently on the news, one of the schools wants to make people have an app that tells whether they've been tested for the virus or not, and they're going to track people, where are they at, who they've been with. Is that what we want in America? That's what they do in Russia. That's what they do in China. I used to go to China, and they'd have in your room, they would know when you left your room precisely, right? The people that are at the end of the hallway monitoring that, you'd come out of your room, and how do they know out of 20 rooms in a corridor that my name was Mr. Siegel? Oh, good morning, Mr. Siegel. Good afternoon, Mr. Siegel. Well, how do they know that? Well, they're monitoring everything you do. You understand that that's what's going on. Do we want that in America? That's what we're letting our politicians and the media do to us. I'd be very, very careful of something like that. Right? You get the politicians, Nancy Pelosi, wanting $600 a week to go on infinitum for everybody that's on unemployment. Why go back to work if you're a minimum wage employee? Well, the idea of a minimum wage employee is to get the experience, to get the benefits so you can move up and accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. Right? But not according to Nancy Pelosi. She just says, let's keep everybody dependent on the government. What does that mean? How does that translate? Well, she wants to control you, right? If you control listen to this. You control the purse strings. You control the health care. You control the lack of education that they want to give right now. What else do people have? And if you dare challenge that, if you dare challenge it, you get fired. 40-year senior editor of Chicago Tribune talks of the truth about George Soros, and what do? They demote him. Former MSNBC hee-haw producer wrote an open letter on Monday explaining why she left the far-left network a little over a week ago, saying that they are, quote-unquote, cancer. That is, quote-unquote, stoking national division, quote-unquote, by amplifying, quote, fringe voices, unquote, and forcing, quote, journalists to make bad decisions on a daily basis, unquote. Think about that. That's coming from MSNBC hee-haw. They're about as far left as you can possibly get, yet their people are even starting to quit because they know that they're the ones that are responsible for creating all of the problems, the discourse, the division in America. And they go on every day. Programs like The View, which I don't know what that's supposed to be. It's not a program. It's a hate show, I think. So you get programs like that, and they're out there just telling people how bad the president is. Yet before he ever did anything, they were boycotting him, right? Democrats, other than President Clinton and President Obama, didn't even show up to the inauguration for the president of the United States, and these are elected officials. Your elected officials and my elected officials. Now, I say that tongue-in-cheek because there are not too many of them here in California that I would vote for, right? I certainly never voted. I do vote all the time. But Gavin Newsom, we're paying the price for having elected Gavin Newsom. Los Angeles paying the price for, San Francisco's been paying the price. Now the whole state is on Gavin Newsom. Los Angeles, Garcetti, right? Not letting the police do their job. And then you have the communities complaining that our buildings are boarded up from the rioting. Well, what do you think's going to happen when you let the thugs take over? And then you start letting out thousands of convicted felons out of jails because they're contracting the coronavirus. Okay, keep them in their cells so that they're socially distanced with a mask on. You're supposed to be controlling them anyway, right? That's not supposed to be a country club. But you let them out and you say, oh, well, they might get sick. Well, if you let them out, you're telling everybody else in the society that we might get sick also. Where are they going? They can't get a job right now. So what are you going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to go out and they're going to steal. They're going to rob. They're going to burn buildings. They're going to burn courthouses, right? That's what felons do. Unbelievable. Yet, as a society, we've got the sheep out there that are consistently going out and have no clue. They just say, we'll just let them continue to go. And I thought I had a good soundtrack here for the sheep, but I guess I must have lost it somehow. But we'll have to find that one back, guys. My sheep broadcasting issues. Unbelievable. But that is the news for the day. We're going to talk today how to retire on $18,000 a month mortgage planning. I've shared with you many, many times that strategy beats rate every time. We're going to talk about that today. We'll talk about experts weighing in on the remarkable strength of the housing market. Is debt consolidation right for me? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. Dow Jones Industrial Average now up 92 points. S&P 500 up at 1.63. NASDAQ up 22.16. Actually, the NASDAQ just jumped up 3.87. 10-year Treasury, that's down 5 basis points. The mortgage-backed securities, those are up 9 basis points. That's some good news right there on that upward transition for those mortgage-backed securities, because when that bond goes up, interest rates go down. CoreLogic released their home price index appreciation report for June, and it looks like they're eating their words. Their words from their previous forecast of a sharp decline in home prices in the year ahead. This morning's report showed that home prices rose 1% from May to June. On a year-over-year basis, home prices were up 4.9%, up from 4.1%. The states with the highest increases year-over-year were Idaho, 10.5%, Montana, 9.8%, Missouri, 8.5%, and Arizona, 8.5%. Fascinating. What do all those states have in common? The big story was the forecast. CoreLogic forecasts that home prices will increase 0.1% from June to July, and they expect prices to fall 1% in the year going forward. Their forecast increased significantly from a negative 6.6 in the next 12 months. Here's what they had to say about it. Interesting commentary. Last month's HPI forecast of 6.6% home price decline through May 2021 has been revised at projected unemployment rates through 2020 showed improvement. The recent rebound of home sales suggests the pandemic did not derail home buyers who continue to be motivated by historically low mortgage rates. This, coupled with the declining supply of homes for sale, could shield home price growth from the impacts of the current economic uncertainty. Seems like they've been reading the updates that we've been talking about on Ron Siegel Radio, but we are more optimistic and think that home prices will increase over the next 12 months. According to Black Knight, home buyers are able to afford $32,000 more than they could 1 year ago. Remember, that's a national number. Here in Calizuela, that'll probably be higher than the $32,000 more than they could 1 year ago. Purchasing power rose more than 10%, even with rising home prices, as evidenced by CoreLogic. This goes to show you that the magic of low rates is offsetting the gains in home prices, and affordability is increasing. A very different story than you're hearing in the media. Nationwide survey from Schwab Retirement Plan Services, consisting of 1,000 currently employed 401k plan participants, find that savings enough for a comfortable retirement continues to be their leading source of significant financial stress. On average, these 401k participants believe they need to save $1.9 million for retirement, an increase of 12% from the $1.7 million reported in last year's survey. 2 in 5 participants also say they made a change to their 401k account due to COVID-19, citing rebalancing and increasing contribution rates as the most common changes. This is an issue that you can help with or help address when you think about refinancing. And we've got a retirement calculator that we can talk to you about that helps give information on refinancing. Think about this one. If you could save $200 or $300 a month on your mortgage and put that money into a safe, secure retirement vehicle, don't you think that would make sense? We're going to talk about that a little bit later when we talk about the idea of refinancing and debt consolidation. What does that mean for you? But right now, that is the Mortgage Minute, again brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star, they've got the programs, the products. You just need to make the call. Again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I've been educating folks on this next topic for probably 20 years now. And it fascinates me how the numbers, they jump around, but they always seem to come out basically the same. And what I'm talking about is financial planning. And no, I am not a financial planner. I don't have that license any longer. I used to do some financial planning work. I was not a CFP ever, but I used to do some financial discussions when I was licensed to do that at Merrill Lynch. And I had the Series 7 and 66 and all those other licenses that you have to deal with. But I gave them up because I want to be able to talk to you honestly. Because so many people have a sheep's mentality and they don't really go about doing some of the things that we talk about on a regular basis. And I want to give it to you straight. So what is the concept here? And if you go and ask financial planners, they're going to generally tell you, no, that what I'm saying is not accurate. Dig deeper. Because the reason that they say what I'm going to tell you is not accurate is because some of the government agencies don't want you to hear this. We used to talk about the idea way back when that the goal of a financial planner is to make sure you don't lose your money. Stick it under your pillow, you won't lose it. Stick it in 10-year treasuries, you don't need the financial planner. But what you want to do is you want your money to grow better than that. So I'm going to tell you about 2 different financial investments, and we'll give you an idea of what you think about them. So here's the first one. Consider how much you would deposit in an investment with the following characteristics. You can determine the amount of monthly contributions and length of time of each of the contributions to continue. You can continue to pay more than the minimum monthly contribution, but not less. If you attempt to pay less, the financial institution keeps all of the previous contributions. The money in the account is not liquid. The money deposited in the account is not safe from loss of principal. Each contribution made to the account results in less safety of principal. The money deposited in the account earns 0% rate of return. Your income tax liability increases with each new contribution, and when the plan is fully funded, there is no income paid out to the investor. How do you like that investment? and no income paid out to the investor. Well, that's something that a lot of people really, really strive for because they're on an accelerated plan to pay off their mortgage. And if you think about those attributes, that is what that accelerated plan tells you. Pay more, but not less. If you pay less, you can be foreclosed upon. The money's not liquid. You can't take it out, go lose your job or get hurt and see what financial institution is going to give you some of that equity. Money's deposited is not safe from loss of principal. Did anybody live through 2008 and see where property values dropped? Doesn't happen often, but it could. It has, it's what it could. Each contribution made to the account is less safe, right? So if you put more and more money into that mortgage, does that make your principal safer? No. You're getting a zero rate of return on all that home equity, always a zero rate of return. Your income tax liability increases with each new contribution. When the plan is fully paid, that mortgage is paid off. Do you get a monthly check from your mortgage when that's paid off? Doesn't happen. When we come back, I'm going to talk to you about the characteristics of another investment opportunity. And again, we're going to talk about the options here from an educational standpoint only. I am not selling you anything. I don't have anything to sell at all. That's not what I do. I just give you this information. If you want to know about it, more than happy to tell you where you can go to get the information where people can actually educate you on this program. So I'll tell you all of that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We will also chat a little bit about experts are weighing in on the remarkable strength of the housing market, and is debt consolidation right for you? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details, 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender, licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. you still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Today's buyers are serious about purchasing a home. Today's home buyers are not just talking about their plans, they're actively engaged in the buying process, and they're serious about it. In a recent report by the National Association of Home Builders, a quote of American adults considering a future home purchase in the second quarter of 2020, about half, 49%, are not simply planning it, they are actively engaged in the process to find a home. That is significantly higher. That is a significantly higher share than the comparable figure a year ago, 41%, which suggests that the COVID-19 crisis and its accompanying record low mortgage rates have converted some prospective buyers into active buyers, unquote. Got a chart showing on the screen for those watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or any of our socials. And it talks about share of today's buyers actively trying to buy. It's no surprise that buyers are out in full force today. Many Americans now need more space to work from home, and the current low mortgage rates are providing an extra boost of motivation to enter the housing market. If you're considering selling your house, know that today's buyers are serious about making a move. Your opportunity to sell your house in a market with high demand is growing, especially as more millennials enter the housing market. The same report also notes, quote, of millennials planning a home purchase in the next year, 57% are already actively searching for a home. Odetta Kushi, Deputy Chief Economist at First American, explains, quote, when breaking down house buying power by educational attainment for millennials in 2019, we find that the higher the education, the higher the household income, and the higher the house buying power. In 2019, median house buying power for millennials increased 16% relative to 2018. As demand for homes to buy grows and more millennials enter the market with growing buying power, the opportunity to sell your house grows too. Bottom line, today's buyers are serious ones, and more millennials are helping to fuel that charge. So if you're considering selling your house, let's chat about the next steps. That is the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. That digest is a free tool from your friends at Ron Siegel Radio, and it really gives you exactly what you need to know. It tells you what the county recorder knows about your property. It tells you what the market believes about your property. And again, it is a free tool from your friends here at Ron Siegel Radio. So we're going to continue our conversation about that $18,000 a month retirement using the right investment opportunities, the right investment options. I am not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice. I'm just sharing with you an educational concept. So before the break, I gave you the first of our investment characteristics, and we're not going to have time to go through that again. But it was basically telling you that, you know something, you put more money into these certain investments, you don't have strength, you don't have control, you don't have liquidity, you don't have protection from loss, you don't have tax benefits. So what do you want as the investment? What is that investment that I would share with you is in your best interest? Well, number one, I like my investments to be liquid. Can I get at them if I need them? I had so many people call me 3 months ago, 4 months ago now. Right when the economy shut down, when 40 million people lost their jobs. And I had a lot of conversations with people who I've told for years, stay away from the accelerated mortgages. Don't go and get that mortgage that where you have to pay a large payment, a 15-year mortgage, a 10-year mortgage. And I know that there's some very, very popular radio personalities that promote the idea everybody should be in a 15-year mortgage, get your home paid off. And I was saying, don't do that. You never know. I could not have told you 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that there would have been a pandemic like we're having right now. Couldn't have told you that. What I did say is that we never know what the future brings. We don't know if you step off the curb and twist an ankle and can't go to work for the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We don't know a lot of things. So, but what we do know, we need a roof over our head. Owning your own home is something good. And if you can do that and have a liquid investment, that's even better. Is it safe? Is my investment guaranteed or insured? I like that. What rate of return can I likely get? And are there any tax benefits associated with the investment? Is this good for you or not good for you? I'm not going to tell you that, but I'm going to say that there is an investment out there that has all of those characteristics. It's liquid, it's safe, there are guarantees, it's insured. What rate of return can you likely get? Well, you can never promise a rate of return going forward unless you're talking, and the only thing that you can really say is guaranteed, I should mention to you, is treasury bonds. Those are the only things that we can say legally are guaranteed. But we can get things that are very, very safe and do carry an insurance with them to try and make them even safer. And tax benefits. Well, yeah, you can have some things that are that are growing tax deferred. You can borrow against them, so that's not a tax event. And if you take it out the right way or repay it the right way, well, you can benefit there too. So there are investments that are this way. And again, being that I don't sell them, I'm not going to go out and promote any one over another. But if you give me a call at 800-306-1990, I will tell you the individuals that can help you with this, because they understand these same programs. They understand these same products. So how do we implement this whole process? I've given you the two different investments, and I'm going to tell you that investing and paying down a mortgage on your property is probably one of the riskiest things that you can do. Because while you're in that process, there are a lot of things that can go wrong. Now, once you've got your property paid off, okay, now you don't have quite as much risk. But would you rather, again, if you have a health issue or a loved one has a health issue and you don't have the money to take that out of the investment, the mortgage or out of the real estate, if you can't qualify for the loan, or you go to a 2008 when the loans aren't even available, you can have a potential problem. So what I'm going to suggest to you is stay liquid. If you stay liquid, you don't have any of these problems. How do you stay liquid? You put this money into various kinds of insurance policies. And the insurance policies have cash value. The cash value, you can borrow against that cash value. And when you borrow against it, you do not have a taxable event because you have a debt. It is not an asset. You're borrowed against that debt or borrowed against that asset. So it's a loan. And a loan, just like on your property, if you take a cash out refinance, there's no taxable event there. It's not income tax. I'm not a tax person. So you do need to consult your tax professional to make sure that everything I'm telling you works for your unique situation. But I'm giving you the questions to go and ask. So let's go with this investment. Let's talk about how we do this. So we take money out of our real estate. Again, a lot of investment companies are going to tell you that you can't take money out of your real estate. You can't do these things. I'm going to tell you, ask them to show you the law. Not their company's rules, but the law. So this actually was an example that I used. I've been using it for 10 years now. So I got a client that had a property that was valued at $630,000. By going and doing a new mortgage at $504,000, we were able to liberate $126,000 from his property. What do we do with that money? Well, we do it the right way into the insurance policy that I just mentioned. And again, I'm not telling you that that's right for you. I'm just saying this is educational. But you take that money and you put it into the insurance policy. And let's just say, for simplicity, over the last 30 years, some of these policies have averaged about 8% return. Will that happen in the future? I don't know. We can never guarantee what the future will bring. But we're saying over the last 30 years, 8% is a very safe number of what these policies have returned. Who owns the biggest building in your city? Yeah, it's either the federal government, Catholic Church, or an insurance company. Almost always. Okay, so here we go. We got that $126,000 that we have liberated from the property. That's going to grow, and I'm just going to use for our example a 7.2% rate of return. Basically, if I use a 7.2% rate of return based on the rule of 72, every 10 years that should double. But if we take that $504,000 and watch that appreciate and grow over the first 5 years, well, now we're going to have $178,000. What's happened to our real estate? Well, our real estate continued to grow. We have both appreciation. I used a 6.12% appreciation because that had been in this area that I was working with this client. That had been his appreciation for 53 years on average. Again, I don't know whether that'll go forward, but I do know that it happened in the past. So that property after 5 years is now worth $847,000. What are we going to do now? We're going to liberate another $174,000. Right? 5 years later, now we're at 10-year mark. Property value is $1.1 million. The mortgage balance, we've just taken out another $234,000. The mortgage balance is now $912,000. You seeing this? We're taking the mortgage balance up on a regular basis every 5 years. That way we can use an interest rate that it does not matter what we talk about in interest rates, because the interest rate is going to continue. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. I actually used a very, very high interest rate for our example because I was using a 6% mortgage rate. We haven't seen that in a long time. But I'm going to tell you how this plays out over a 30-year ownership window. When we come back, you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're going to also talk a little bit about the cash out refi, the debt consolidation loan. Is it right for you? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message. And I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report? It is wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer. They have the solutions for you. You just need to make the call again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Just had to run real quick out here. It's going to get a little winded. So let's talk about debt refinancing and consolidation loan. That is our topic today. What is a debt consolidation loan? Is it right for me? Of late, it seems that several debt consolidation advertisements surface just about every time I go on social media promising substantial savings if I consolidate all of my debt into a single loan. With the amount of debt in America staggeringly high, not surprising that many people may consider this an enticing option to address their debt situation. According to debt.org, Americans owe over $1 trillion in both student loans and credit card debt. On average, each household with a credit card carries $8,400 in credit card debt, and about 37% carry balances on their cards, paying interest charges month to month. So is a debt consolidation loan the right option for you? Potential benefits touted make it seem so, but understand the drawbacks too. Potential for a lower monthly payment. This can be true, but may come at a cost, as a loan may have a longer term, which results in paying more interest fees over the life of the loan. Convenience of having to make one single fixed amount payment per month versus keeping track of multiple bills due over the month with different amounts due. This can be a nice feature if you currently juggle many credit accounts. Lower interest rates. This may be true depending upon what interest rates you're paying on your credit card obligations and based on your credit scores. The debt consolidation calculator that we have is able to help you figure out what your actual blended household interest rate is. A higher credit score. Some debt consolidation providers claim that debt consolidation can improve credit scores. In reality, debt consolidation actions could result in a score increase, decrease, or have no impact at all. It's unique for each person. It depends on the new information reported along with the person's overall credit report. For example, the inquiry and new credit account reported could result in points lost, while the reduction of credit card balances may help the score. If you are considering a debt consolidation loan, you'll want to review your credit reports beforehand to check for accuracy and go through the dispute process if you uncover errors. I'm going to tell you a couple of sites: www.annualcreditreport.com to see how get your credit report for free. Also, I like myfico.com. That's the tool that I use all the time. I'm a bit of a nerd, though, so it consistently is telling me what my scores are. I watch that to see what changed and what change that effect that had on a credit score. But you need to understand the whole point, and that's why I tell you all the time that strategy beats rate always. Understand how you're going to deal with this when you take that savings and apply it right to the debts that you have, back to the principal, and that way you're not paying that the interest over a longer period. I find more often than not, if you take that money and apply it to the principal, the savings, or at least 2/3 of it, you're going to cut your payment time down on your mortgage significantly by doing this. That's your Credit Matters segment, again, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. What are you doing about it? So, to recap a little bit of what we've been chatting about this morning, we've been talking a little bit about how to retire on $18,000 a month using mortgage planning. And again, I talked to you about the concept of strategy. Now, in this example I'm actually using a 6% mortgage rate. Yes, I know that's high. But if I use, they're over a 30-year period, mortgage rates are sometimes going to be very much higher than that. Sometimes they're going to be lower than that. Right now, obviously, we're significantly lower than that. But I already showed you how we're building wealth through this whole process, and you're not having to do anything at all other than every 5 years, see what amount of capital you can liquidate from your real estate and put it into one of these safe, secure investments that I talked to you about earlier. And again, that investment is going to be liquid, it's safe, it's guaranteed or insured. You're going to get a nice rate of return. We're using in our example a 7.2% rate of return. The insurance companies are the ones that understand how to get that kind of a rate of return. They are going to limit you on the upside. They're going to limit you on the downside. They protect you on the bottom. So you're not going to, on most of these policies, you don't lose money. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed other than a treasury bills. But AAA rated insurance companies rarely go out of business. And if they do, somebody else makes sure to pick them up because they want to maintain that sense of security for people. So you got a good rate of return. You got the tax benefits associated with it. And we're going to need to understand those tax benefits when we get down here a little further, because I told you at year 10, our property value, that $630,000 property, appreciating at that 6.12% interest or appreciation, is now worth about $1,141,000. We've got a mortgage at that time of $912,000. We've been liberating money all the time on this, and that money is growing on a regular basis. So at year 10, the money that we've taken out of the property is now worth about $500,000. So we've got $500,000 sitting in a side account or in the insurance policy. What can you do with that money? That is liquid money. If you need access to it, and you should not be doing this because that ruins our strategy, our retirement program. But you could call and talk to your investment advisor, and if you had a problem, you could get access to that money. So if you had an illness, if you had a short-term disability, something along those lines, you're going to be able to deal with that. Year 15, our property's worth $1.5 million. We're going to liberate another $315,000. We've got $1,089,000 in our side account. Year 20, we've got $2 million on the property value. We've got a mortgage of $1.6 million. We've got almost $2 million in our side account. Jump down to year 30. Let's take a look and see what our numbers are looking like on year 30, because that's where this really gets to be exciting. Okay, so on year 30, that's when we're talking about having a property worth $3.7 million, $5.6 million in the side account, and we can start taking a draw on that of $16,000 a month. If you want to pay off the mortgage, you're still going to take $14,000 a month. You take out $23,000 a month on a regular basis in this whole process. That is the benefit. That is the beauty of this program, is because you've got a property worth $3.7 million that you owe $2.2 million on it, but you've got $5.6 million in savings. If you ever want to write a check to pay off that $2.2 million mortgage, you've got that, and you've still got $3 million left. All because you've taken and worked a strategy over a lot of years. That's the idea. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, and as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean, who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Lights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim again.